You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports. If you're new to the channel, punch subscribe, like, comment, share. You guys know the drill, so this is something we've been very vocal about lately, which is, oh my God, the queen feminist, or some of you might even say king feminist, of all feminists, Megan Rapinoe, who of course has turned her soccer career into a social justice grift. U.S. women's national team so vocally and vividly bragged about her kneeling and disrespecting the national anthem during the press release for Megan Rapinoe's impending and can't come soon enough retirement, as she, I'm sure, continues to parlay that into some Colin Kaepernick life business grift. She has come out, and we've talked about the fact that it's funny how quick that her and Sue Bird, her partner, came out and sold out women's rights when it came to competitive sports. Of course, Megan and Sue fully support biological men competing against women in competitive sports, and she has come out in a Time magazine interview, and she has decided to, quadruple down on that and further sell out women. And if that means you lose a spot on the U.S. women's national team, she's good. She's good with it. That's right. The alphabet lesbian that was all about women sure cares about some men being able to compete in women's sports. It's baffling. And we will also cover the fact that NC2A star, women's swimming star from Kentucky, who now we know is on a mission to try to help protect competitive women's sports, Riley Gaines, she has landed herself an Outkick show, and we will also touch on that as well. Let's get to this. This is Fox Sports also got a assist from Outkick on this. U.S. soccer star Megan Rapinoe would support trans athletes on the U.S. women's national roster. I see trans women as real women. Wow. Okay. U.S. women's soccer icon, and I'm going to tell you, I pointed this out the other day on her retirement announcement. When your retirement announcement by the team has almost no accolades about your performance on the field, but just activism, how good of a player were you really? Question mark. Just wondering. Now, more like the lines between her and Kaepernick are eerily similar. A below average to average quarterback, and it sounds like a below average to average soccer player. Honestly, let's just be honest. U.S. women's soccer icon Megan Rapinoe has been a public advocate for the inclusion of transgender athletes in women's sports ahead of what will be her final, thank God, World Cup appearance before retiring. The one-time Golden Boot winner said she would, quote, absolutely support having a trans woman on the U.S. women's national team. Okay, let me set the scene here. Running across the field, full steam. Girls looking in the other direction during a soccer game. Runs directly into a, let's just say, 220-pound biological male / trans woman athlete at full steam. How do you think that works out for the woman that dresses out at 5'3", 135? Just wondering, how do you think that Howie Long linebacker destruction's going to come out? Just wondering. It's going to be a hit like John Lynch, for crying out loud. In an interview with Time Time published Monday, Rapinoe recalled highlights from her lengthy career. You have some, including her battles on and off the pitch. She was asked specifically about her push to defend transgender athletes' participation in women's sports. Quote, "We as a country are trying to legislate away people's full humanity," she told the outlet. Rapinoe was one of 40 professional athletes to co-sign a letter to the House lawmakers in April in opposition of the Protection of Girls and Women in Sports Act. Imagine that. Wow. Unbelievable. Arguing that the bill would exclude women and girls from getting, quote, mental and physical health benefits. It's particularly frustrating when women's sports is weaponized. Really? Who's weaponizing it? Megan? She said in the interview, "Oh, now we care about fairness." Damn right, we've always cared about fairness. This is the first time we've ever been presented with a swinging ding-a-ling in women's sports, for crying out loud. That's why you haven't heard anything about this. How many people were pissing and moaning mad about Title IX protecting women's sports? 0 individuals. Now we care about women's sports? Yeah, we do now. You bet that. That's total bullshit. And show me all the trans people who nefariously taking advantage of being trans in the sport. It's just not happening. That's a lie. That's a lie. Leah Thomas, really? Made a joke out of women's swimming. A total joke. It's happened in women's powerlifting. It's happened in MMA. And in these blue states, it's going to take over. Rapinoe was asked specifically if she would support a trans woman playing on the United States women's national team, even if it meant replacing a biological female. The OL Reign star said she would, but added she did not view the act as, quote, taking a real woman's place. Quote, "Absolutely, you're taking a real woman's place. That's part of the argument that's still extremely transphobic. I see trans women as real women." Wow. What you're saying automatically in the argument, you're sort of telling on yourself already, is you don't believe these people are women. No shit. No shit. Exactly. Therefore, they're taking the other spot. I don't feel that way. Rapinoe will make her final World Cup appearance this month at the United States women's national team heads to Australia and New Zealand with the hopes of making history, becoming the first women's or men's team to win a three-peat. Wow. Unbelievable. She sold women right out of there. Like, it's unbelievable how fast she decided to quit caring about women's rights. Actual women. All these women that looked up to her thinking, "Oh, wow, boy, she's really gone to bat all these years for women's rights." Nah, she sold you right down the river. She folded like a cheap suit. Unbelievable. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Why? Because she knows that angle is going to make her a lot of money. Look at that. The activist soccer player landed a Time magazine interview. Wow. Riley Gaines, who has long opposed biological men competing in women's sports, is joining Outkick. On Wednesday, July 12th, Riley Gaines will debut, quote, the Gaines for Girls podcast through Outkick's OTT network. Gaines will use the podcast to use her voice and voice the voice of other females in an effort to fight for fairness within female athletics. Gaines has been one of the few females brave enough to speak out against trans swimmer Leah Thomas competing against females. She first began speaking up and seeking change after competing against Thomas at the 2022 NC2A Women's Swimming Championship. Gaines previously swam for the University of Kentucky. During the NC2A championship race, Gaines and Thomas, a biological male, tied for fifth. The trophy was awarded to Thomas. This, in part, set Gaines down a path of continuously speaking up for women's rights, and it's clear that she has no intention of quieting down. Following her collegiate career, Gaines has regularly campaigned against transgender athletes in women's sports. Her passion has taken her to the Texas Senate, the NC2A convention, and numerous university campuses where she has been, by the way, trapped, some could say assaulted, on left-wing campuses, numerous university campuses, to share her cause. Gaines detailed her enthusiasm for her upcoming pod launch alongside Outkick. Quote, "I'm excited to be partnering with Outkick to release my new podcast, Gaines for Girls. The audience can expect open conversations from policy experts, world-renowned scientists, elite athletes, and others who have been affected by cultural issues plaguing America." That's probably going to be a really interesting pod. Outkick is the ideal place to facilitate these conversations, considering their understanding of sports and politics, as well as their love for America and our freedoms. You know what's funny? You know what won't happen? When's Time Magazine interviewing Riley? I'd love to know. Question mark? Time Magazine? Oh, let me guess. It won't happen. No way. They're not going to want to escalate her like that, like they did Megan Rapinoe just now. Good God. The Megan Rapinoe stuff is going to be coming ad nauseum now, because it's going to be a nonstop propping her up in the media, brave, stunning, courageous. It's going to make us sick to our stomachs. Unbelievable. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Megan Rapinoe, just let those trans women just swing on into the locker room. We're good. Let them compete. Oh, sorry, you didn't cut it. Last person on the team, on the U.S. women's national team. Your whole dream, your passion, everything you worked for, well, you just tagged out for a dude. How do you feel about it? Feel fair to you? Question mark. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.